see her.
Hi, now yes.
Okay, now yes. Girls, I'm starting with the taping of this meeting. Today is Thursday, the 24th of September. And I would like to start by listening to you, listening to your comments about the tasks you carried out based on your reading of The Handmaid's Tale, based on the listenings of the TED Talks, right, that I suggested, and well, everything that is in our classroom that I'm going to share with you in just a minute. Okay, here it is. In the second semester, right, we've been discussing The Handmaid's Tale. So the idea is to work a little bit with this. I want to listen to you, your ideas, see if you can use these themes here to help you start delineating and identifying your topic and the question, the research question that you need to come up with for your term paper with Barbie, okay? So let's see, we've been discussing feminism. We listened to Emma Watson talking and presenting her speech at the UN. We defined feminism as used in this speech. And then we needed to discuss these issues of if her ideas, right, coincide with and reflect the ones from the novel. This is one of the questions that we needed to discuss, right? So are the ideas presented in Emma Watson's speech at the UN kind of related to the ideas of feminism in the novel, right? The ideas posed by Margaret Atwood, okay? This would be one of the questions that I would like you to tell me, right? I read the examples of gender roles in The Handmaid's Tale, right? You transcribed some of them, some examples in the forum. I don't know if you were able to read them, but I really, really liked them, right? They were very good, right? You were able to pick up examples from the novel and transcribe them and explain them, right? Which is the purpose of this activity, of this task. And then what I would like to know, if you were able to check some of the TED Talks about feminism, and I would like to tell me which you enjoyed the most, which you found more interesting, and why. And if there is some kind of relationship, if there is, you could find some kind of connection with the novel, okay? So this is up to you now, right? What can you tell me? Do you need some time to discuss this among you in little groups, or can we discuss all together?
For me, it's okay.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think? Let's start with the first question, which was, I mean, Emma Watson's speech and its relationship, possible relationship, with the topic of gender roles in the novel and the topic of feminism. Do you think that this is reflected? I mean, these ideas are reflected in Emma Watson's speech, in the novel. Jackie, you put up your hand, and I would like somebody else to follow, okay? The idea is that everybody, I mean, together, we start discussing and expressing our opinions, okay? So, what can you tell us, Jackie? You have to unmute your phone, your mic. Good.
She says that feminism is based upon equal rights.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a matter of gender that is only a women's matter,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also men's matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that sexism and violence goes also against men. And the resemblance I find in The Handmaid's Tale is when Offred and goes on a walk and passes by the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and there are men hanging,
Mm-hmm.
and they are wearing a kind of handkerchief around their neck, which is
Mm-hmm.
violet, representing I don't remember how it was called, violation or traitors of gender
Mm-hmm.
traitors,
Yeah,
because they
they
were
were
gay.
accused. Yes, they were accused of treachery.
Yes, because they
Treason,
were
of
gay, so
treason. They were
they
accused of
beat,
treason. I'm sorry, they were accused of treason, right?
and they were hanged, killed just because of that.
Mm-hmm. All
I don't
right.
remember. I think it's chapter 8,
Mm-hmm.
when they go on a walk, or they were coming back from shopping,
Yes.
and they saw those men hanging.
Yes. And especially, I mean,
Ah,
the wall
gender treachery.
treachery. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Treachery or treason. Okay. Yes.
chapter 8.
And they also, I mean, that especially that issue, uh, that wall covered in blood. Yes, that's also important to take into account, that the wall was covered in blood, right? That was very telling of the system. Mm-hmm.
And you didn't know who the people were.
Mm-hmm.
You just knew what they had done because of the colors, because they
Exactly.
had their heads and faces covered
Covered. Mm-hmm.
with a white bag,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing you could see was blood or the colors that identified the kind of
The categories.
crime.
Yeah,
Yes.
the categories and yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Mm-hmm.
My
What else?
answer was like more general and more focused on Emma Watson's speech.
Perfect.
I wrote that the ideals that they shared, both their speech and The Handmaid's Tale, were the right to work and earn money for women, the women's right to
Mm-hmm.
work and earn their own money, the right to decide if being a mother or not.
Mm-hmm.
She mentions that in her speech. The
Yeah.
right to decide on their own body, private and social life.
Okay.
I think that those three were the most related topics.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. And also, sorry. One more to
In
add.
her speech, sorry,
No,
Eh?
Paula.
in her speech, she also says that she invites men to this movement. She talks to them,
Exactly.
and she wants to change minds. That is her purpose.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect, because what she's saying is that feminism is not a movement or an approach or a theoretical framework about women. It's about everybody. This is about everybody, right? That's real feminism, right? So she's inviting, as Paula said, she's inviting men to take action, to stand by women, all right?
What really caught my attention was the fact that she claims that if the problem is the word feminism, do not pay attention to that word. And in my opinion, that's what happens to me. Many times I think like that, and okay, I have to pay attention to what is feminism fighting for, and not only the word I'm a feminist or I'm not a feminist or I'm against them or not.
Exactly.
That's quite important.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And another issue that I would like to add is the idea that Emma Watson, in her speech, she said that she was labeled or pigeonholed as a bossy person, right? When she was, and because she wanted to direct and she wanted to give orders or whatever. So the idea is also, or that is connected with women in hierarchical positions, in high positions in companies or whatever. That is not happening in The Handmaid's Tale. In The Handmaid's Tale, I mean, the demand and the, let's see, the claim is that women are in a very low position. The only ones who have power are men. Okay, so that's another parallelism, another relationship that we can find in the speech.
In her speech, she also talked about men
Mm-hmm.
being afraid of being sensitive, and we can see the commander when invites Offred to play in
Scrabble.
yeah, Scrabble in a private situation because it is not allowed,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it's
Okay.
another
Yes.
Hello, sorry.
Hi, Caro.
How are you?
Happy birthday.
Ah, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Was it yesterday or is it today?
Today,
Today. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So then you would have
Yes.
to blow your candle, right? And wish and make your wish.
yes,
Okay.
of
Good.
course.
Good. All right, good, Marianela. That's very good. And besides this idea of the commander asking Offred or inviting Offred to his office and play board games with her and ask her or allow her to read, it's also this idea, or there is this underlying idea of pleasure, of pleasurable activities that we're not supposed to occur, right? You were not supposed to perform any pleasurable activities. Everything has to do with duties from the moment they got up, right? And handmaids had a very structured routine, the same as the Marthas, the same as the aunts, right? And even the commander's wives, right? Had a very structured routine, okay? Good. What else? Any other comments? No? Did you like the speech?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
I also submitted because you asked us to find some more information about this movement.
Mm-hmm.
I entered their website, and you have the opportunity to submit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to add an email account, and then you can read some news about this movement around the world.
Okay.
And that's quite interesting.
All right.
Yes, me too. I did it. I also did that. Yes.
Okay.
It was a good discovery. I think there's a lot things to work with it. You can work with that in class.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. When I mean, especially now that everybody's talking about the ESI here, the ESI there. I mean, this is a wonderful
Yes, you're right.
to get material from, right? And material that has to do, I mean, with serious. I mean, it's serious, right? It's very good material. It's very good.
And authentic.
Authentic, definitely, right? And it has a theoretical background, and it is
yes, and you can invite your students to follow the course. It's like to be involved in that. So it's really interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. And this idea as well, we were discussing before. I mean, the audience, right? Who is this, or who was the speech addressed to principally, right, or predominantly, because it was addressed to everybody, men and women and all people, but especially men, right? Paula said she's invited men to join women's cause. All right, that's why it's he for she. That's why the campaign is called he for she, right?
I found that here in Argentina, Diego Torres is the ambassador.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know that.
I guess that because I started following this cause several years ago, and there was another one, so perhaps he's kind of new in his post or whatever. But that's okay. That's very good. Yeah. Mika, you want to say something?
Yes, that I think that this speech is especially for men because I think that she wants to say, or she wants to explain us, that feminism is not only fight for women's rights, but also to destroy some or certain stereotype of masculinity. No, that is what I want to say.
Definitely.
For me, I understand that, but for this reason, she emphasizes the special role of men and being involved in feminism.
Okay, good, very good. Of the lectures that you were suggested there, or that you are presented there in that site, one of the TED Talks, did you listen to some of them, to any of them?
Yes.
Okay, which one, Paula?
I chose Empower Girl Transforming Community by Akenia Taisha or something like that.
Okay, tell us.
Well, I have a machetito here. Eh?
Yeah, sure.
Well, she was born in a village. She was the first of 8 children, and she was, during his childhood, she had to take care of her siblings, of her mom. She has to cook. Okay, so
where
in order to change,
Paula, where is she from?
From Africa.
Okay, good.
And in order to change, she wanted to change this this village. So she built a school to educate girls, transform the community. When she was a girl, she suffered from genital mutilation, FGM, and this showed the end of her childhood. She negotiated with her father to do this practice in order to stay in school. So, how difficult?
Yeah, because I mean, you have to. I mean, on the one hand, the idea of that she was able to negotiate with his father.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's. I mean, that would be the these dreadful and horrible a movie. I would say there is this silver lining that says she was able to negotiate with her father, and it's okay. I mean, I give you part of my body, right? I go under this mutilation, but I continue going to school because I mean the worst scenario would be, I mean, mutilation and no school. I mean that would be the most the common issue. Go on.
Yes. And then she went to university, and when she returned to the village, she saw that it hadn't changed. So she built a school to get rid of FGM and early marriage, because the girls married at the age of 8, for example, 9, with old people. At first, there were 30 students, and she said that they had no energy. So she discovered that they were hungry, that they were starving. So she found food and a cook. But then it was not enough, So she decided to turn it into a boarding school. And she showed us pictures of the first day of the, for example, I don't remember the names of the girls, but she showed the pictures of the girl, of one girl, for example. At the first day, the girl was crying, and in 2 or 3 months, the girl was smiling and she was happy. You can see that in her face, on her face. The fathers of the girls didn't believe in their daughter's ability to study. Well, then I don't remember, more or less, I tell you.
Yeah. I mean, not all the details, but
then she had a lot of boys too. So it was a huge community, a huge boarding school. And the grandmas tell stories to the students, and there were 10,000 boys and girls. Here I found it. 10,000 boys and girls.
Well, imagine people, 10,000 students, right?
Yes. And then the girls went to study to university, some of the girls. So she was so proud of them.
Of course, right.
The video, I love the video. It was great.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Well, I mean, these are the little, it's like a drop in the ocean, right? This is a drop in the ocean, but at least you can change the lives of some people, right? In this case, 10,000 people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, good. Okay, very good. All right, and this is through the strength and the will and the action of one woman. Okay, and I guess that there are many women around the world who are trying to work in that direction. Like, for example, here in Argentina, can you think of somebody who does that?
I follow a feminist woman. I don't know if she's so known, but she's very well known in Instagram, and her name is Flor Freijo.
Flor?
Flor Freijo.
Okay.
Freijo, her name is Flor Freijo. And I really like what she posts. She talks about history, about feminism, but from the beginning. And she encourages women to study. They say we have a unique opportunity, and many women haven't got this opportunity. So we have to study.
Okay.
And she also emphasizes on the fact that sometimes, as we talked in the last class, that many times feminism is related to naked bodies. And I really like what she says, that to show our bodies is not a revolution, because it was always expected that women had to show their bodies. So she says that the real revolution is to study, to become academic women. So I really like her.
Okay, good. All right, and she's from Argentina.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, very good.
Sometimes she's in some TV programs, such as I think that that one of Fantino, I don't remember the name, Intratables, or some of these programs.
Okay. No. Fantino's, I guess that Fantino's program is called Animales Salvajes, could that be?
Animales Sueltos.
Like that. I don't know. Salvajes, sueltos, any of that. Okay, but anyway. Then Anaí, why don't you type her name in the chat. So we have the name and we can search for her actions. Okay. Any other? Okay. Flor Freijo. No idea who she is, but I'm going to try to find out. Okay. What about the rest? Any other?
I watched the one that you told us. That for
Amanda
you was really, yes, was really good to watch it, and it was really interesting because she tells like a story from her childhood, and it's the way she introduces stereotypes, what women, what things that are expected for women to do and some things that are expected for men to do. So about stereotypes. She's from Nigeria, so she really thinks that it was hard at that moment. And the first time she heard the word feminism, or feminist, yes, that a friend of her told her that she was a feminist, and she says that we all should be feminists because we all have a story to tell similar to the one she tells in the TED Talk. So it's really interesting, and it makes you think a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember, Caro, do you remember the anecdote she tells, she describes when she travels, because she's a Nigerian writer, and then she went to study to the States, right? And she went to university to the States, and she lived there on campus, right, as an international student. Do you remember that anecdote?
The anecdote that when she was a child, that she wanted to be a monitor, that one?
No, when she went to the university, and so her roommate.
Yes.
That is connected to the concept of stereotypes, right?
Yes.
What it means, stereotypes. What's the?
Yes.
That's why the talk is called "The Danger of a Single Story."
Yes. I don't remember that well. I got stuck on the one about her childhood.
Okay, the idea is that, I mean, has anybody? Yes, Marianela.
Was it the part that somebody says that women were not happy, feminists were not happy because they couldn't find husband? No.
No, not that one. It is when she describes
because someone.
Yeah, go on.
I think a journalist, but I think it's not the same part.
Okay, could be. It doesn't matter.
Said that feminists were not happy because they couldn't find a husband. And so she said that she was a happy feminist.
Okay, all right.
That one.
Okay, yes. that is one. But the other is the idea of what prejudice and stereotypes can do to our perception, right, of women or of men too. Like, for example, she says that stereotypes are incomplete because what happened to her is that when she moved to the United States and she had to stay on campus in college, she had a roommate, and the roommate, who was expecting a Nigeria student, the roommate expected an indigenous person, a person dressed with all the colors.
Yes, yes.
A person
right.
who listened. I mean, and her roommate was says, "Oh, do you listen to, I don't know, Madonna?" I mean,
yes.
So it was like, so the idea is like stereotypes are incomplete. It's the same way when we said we are from Argentina and they all think of the gauchos. Okay, gauchos exist in one part of Argentina because they carry on tradition, because they have their way of life and the root or whatever. But not everybody lives that way. We are not all gauchos, okay? We are not all, I don't know, people from the city. All right, so what she says is stereotypes or stereotyping is incomplete, right? We do not see, or stereotypes do not help us see the person as a whole. And this is what we need to, right? And why am I focusing on that? It's because when we, and this has nothing to do with written expression, but it has to do with teaching and with fundamentos. In our classes, people, our classes should be about the person, the individual as a whole. Language, we live through language in a context with others. So we are not only teaching the linguistic exponent. The linguistic exponent is just one part of the content of our classes. But we also need to help our students become self-determined people, okay? Better people. To, I don't know, foster tolerance and all other values, moral values, all right? People, the communication is breaking in less than a minute. We use the same link and we come back, okay? So we can continue with, round off this, this topic and continue with the next, all right? Right?